It's a good pile we got going up there.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is exactly what happened the other game. All right, roll your sword. 3. Okay, here we go. I need 4 or better. There we go. Finally got him.
Whoops. Cappy Tom.
Okay.
This is really dangerous.
So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to attack, 6 to move up, and I'm just gonna pile in here. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, and the rest of them have already moved. No, they have not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, it was basically just... It was waiting to happen until those two forces finally clashed.
Yeah. And actually, I gotta say, good move with what you did, running into that room with my flamethrower and closing the door behind you. That was genius. So, like, I hand that one to you.
Oh, yeah. So what I did was I ran one blip into the room with his flamethrower sergeant or flamethrower marine, and then had another blip come up and close the door behind him, so he couldn't shoot a flamer template into this room. Because if I lost that room, that would have been the end of it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get back to you with the next round of combat. I think you can make this happen.
Hey Ryan, how does it feel like to have so much blood on your hands?
Well, I mean, it's unfortunate really for the Marines, to be honest. So, Alex had 3 Marines here at the beginning of last turn. The first 2 were on Overwatch, the third one was on guard. And it's a numbers game, really. I mean, when you're basically charging through his first Overwatch shot, and the gun jammed on double 3s. So that was unfortunate. And then you basically have a steamroller of aliens coming through that are rolling 3 dice to 1. So, I mean, it's kind of writing's on the wall at that point, right? Unfortunately, the second guy on Overwatch didn't get a clean shot in, so he was grabbed into close combat. He was killed. However, the third guy who was on guard killed an alien. He killed one, and then was taken out by the next one in line. And that's the problem when you have a horde like this coming down the hallway. It's just a numbers game. Right?
And that's what I was saying before. Is that okay? Yes, I was able to stave off any threats from behind, but did that actually help me? And perhaps that was part of the problem here. Is actually that strategy that I tried out.
You spread your resources, or.
No, I bulked yours up in one area and then just
caused me to concentrate in one area.
So really, I mean, like, yeah, great, I didn't get attacked in these areas, but the other side is all gone because you've had like a lot. Well, you've had a couple blips where all of them have been 3.
So let's put it here. I have a copy or a list of all the blips that have been shown so far, and out of the 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them are 3s.
Yeah, which actually, I mean, in our history has not happened before.
That's true. That is above average.
And also, 1 Gene Stealer killed 2 guys. That hasn't happened before.
It's true.
And I've had 1 Marine kill 14 of your guys. So like those outlier stats or those outlier circumstances. Anyway, what are you doing over here?
So at first it was just to cause some harassment to your flamethrower Marine that was there.
Yeah, because
now I'm
other
thinking
blips over here too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't just apply pressure in one direction. I basically want to get into this area here and cut off your secondary escape route. Because the last thing I want to do is give you an option to put distance between your models and my models. Because that's once again, where your guns become more effective, right? So the intent would be to keep putting pressure on this side to kind of funnel you back into this side of the map.
That makes sense.
And other than that, I don't know. I'm just kind of running towards anything that's red.
And you've got a lot of men on the board, so that gives you the advantage.
I think that pretty much sums it up right there. All right, so what's up, man? What happened?
I had a lot of morale with this guy. I was like,
this is your Thunderhammer?
Yeah, a picture of him running down the hallways on a rampage to kill these guys that murdered all of his Coast Space Marine dudes, and that happened.
So that's 1 plus 2, and then oh dear. Well, like we've said in the past, it's all about the dice roll, right?
It is. Because you know what? Like, I could see a scenario where I just kill like all those guys, right? So
I'm sure, of course, you could see a scenario
I mean, I even pictured in my head before I did that.
in your mind's eye.
Yeah. I mean, I had a clear strategy to go and just wipe you guys, but
Okay, so all right. So now that that's happened, what's your strategy for the remaining 3? How are you going to get that autocannon put to use?
defend.
What, you're going to hide out in the hallway and just shoot them all up?
Part of me wants to just find a spot where I could kind of tucker in or entrench myself so deeply that I just kill you down long hallways like I'm so good at, and then move. Because seriously, what else can I do?
I don't know. There are a fair amount of blips left, aren't there?
You have 5 more blips plus the guys on the board.
Yeah, but then there's another 9 left over here that have to get deployed still. I don't know, man. That's a lot.
Yep.
You know what? For a map that looks like it's so sprawled out, it's actually quite tight. Mm-hmm. Because you meet in the middle. That's the issue, right? Okay, well, we figured that we'd include that because that was a crushing moment. I'm sorry, Alex.
It's okay.
You know the good thing about this is, even when you're like me, when you're playing the aliens, you're secretly rooting for the good guys to win. I mean, really. And that's, I don't know. I still think that chain gun Space Marine, the autocannon, can do some serious damage. And I'd like to see him just tear some of these things up.
Tune in next time and maybe you'll see that happen.
End of the game. As you can see here, there aren't any Marines standing here. They basically just got overrun. However, the assault cannon did have a pretty good run.
It did. It killed, I don't know, I don't think we kept track.
It was about 8.
Yep. And well, like what? That was one go.
Well, they basically cleared out this entire hallway.
Yeah.
And all of that.
And I used, like, maybe... I think I missed, like, twice, so I used 1 magazine for that, right? Mm-hmm.
So, Alex, tell me about the strategy here. What do you think you could have done different? What do you think you did well? Because personally, looking at the way you went into this game, I think there was a lot that you did well. I think the dice rolling really hurt you in a few kind of really critical moments. Why don't you give us your synopsis?
I think I'm applying a strategy that worked to a previous game, to a completely different game with a very different mission objective, to get off the board. That objective is not like any other objective we played. So that's the one key factor, right? Different game, different setting, right? I used an old method that worked previously and assumed that it would work again. And I tried too much to control the board. I think that's where I went wrong. I wasted too much resources and time trying to control you when I should have been more focused on how can I get my guys out. So my tactic, I think, was fundamentally flawed in that way. That's sort of the way I take it. And the dice rolling on my part was horrendous. I think this is one of the worst games that I've played for dice rolls, and one of the best games you play for the blips, because you got so many three-man blips in the beginning of the game too. See, and it wasn't just spread out like it was three over and over and over again, constantly. And you wore me down. You had a couple of smart moves with the flamethrower. So and you closed in. I mean, and I kind of saw it coming towards the middle of the game there. So I think that's where my strategy failed me in the end.
Fair enough.
Was that?
Fair enough. Ready?
It's going.
Okay, Xeno's postmortem here. I think in a nutshell, Alex provided good pressure and basically cut me off from these points here. However, it didn't really affect my master strategy, and that was simply just creating as much alien mass between his squad and the exit. And I mean, really, there's no complex strategy here for the alien player. It's just create as big of a meat shield as humanly possible between them and that exit point. I agree with Alex in that it's very challenging for Marines to play the offensive role on this, because their greatest asset is range between themselves and the enemy. And with this mission, in order to get to the end, the finish point, if you want to think of it that way, they have to plow straight through whatever it is that's standing in front of them. Good mission, a very complex one. It's very simple looking at it, but on the Marine side, it takes a lot of thinking, and it's very complex based on, you only get 4 movement points, Overwatch for 2, flamethrower shot for 2, limited ammunition on the autocannon. There's a lot that goes on, and you constantly have to worry about basically three major flanks that would be coming at you at all times. So overall, a good game, Alex. I congratulate you for the valiant effort. Here's the handshake. Excellent. And we will see you for the next mission. Thanks.